Welcome to the Rundown. Today we will be giving the latest on the protest happening on Rowan University's campus. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to the Rowan Rundown. I'm Jordan Coupe.
And I'm Olivia Fasano. A small group of men sparked protests outside the Campbell Library on Rowan University's campus today. The group is preaching against the LGBT community, women, and the Islamic religion. There have been racial, degrading, and homophobic slurs spoken towards Rowan students from the group. The men referred to themselves as the Bible believers. There was a heavy police presence there trying to contain the situation. However, the fraternities of Rowan University took matters into their own hands and created a large dance party on the Student Center patio. There was music, dancing, and a whole lot of hugging. Students wore rainbow flags and held posters of welcoming and love. They were ignoring the hateful comments, and around 4:30, the Bible believers were in police custody being escorted from the campus, putting an end to the protests. Glassboro police arrest Rowan University students as they fight for the right against opinionated protesters that come from North Philadelphia, led by the pastor Aiden. Many students were escorted out after being angered due to being offended by protesters that are against LGBT community and women's equality.
After hearing about today's protest on campus in a class, I drove by the scene on my way to the studio. I was able to walk over to the patio area to investigate. Hey ladies, how are you?
Good. So Alyssa, can you tell us what happened today at this protest and why it broke out in the first place?
Absolutely, it's been a whirlwind. So what we know so far is that the protest began around 1 p.m. and the protesters started on 322. Eventually the police moved everyone near the Campbell Library, and the men who started the protest, as you know, call themselves the Bible believers, and they started protesting, chanting derogatory slurs against various minority groups, including the LGBTQ community.
Wow. So can you tell us exactly, like, in detail what you saw?
Absolutely. So I was walking from Beaux-Arts, and once I got close to the scene, I immediately saw two officers arresting a student and taking him behind the library and out to the cop car. So many students were attempting to video the arrest of the student, and he became agitated and yelled, "Stop trying to journalize this." So once I got a little bit closer to the library where the protest was occurring, I was stopped by multiple officers that weren't permitting me to go down to the area. So I was able to go through the student center and out the back patio. And once I stepped out, I saw EMTs who were consoling a student who had fainted and was on the ground. They were giving her water, and she did begin to regain consciousness. As you said, there seemed to be a bit of a party going on. The commotion seemed to be split into two, as multiple Rowan fraternities were dancing to music and on top of picnic tables. The frat members and friends were trying to detract from the protest itself, and they were offering free food, Rita's water ice, doing anything to pull students away. And the frats were there in the patio area before the protest even began, as some of them were raising money for St. Jude's.
Yeah. Wow, at that point, did it seem that things were starting to calm down?
So the frat side blended into the protest, which was taking place on the side of the library. The most vocal protester was screaming slurs at students who held "Love all" and "We want peace" signs. The protester was calling the students sinners and telling them they were condemned to hell. Police declined to comment to me, but I personally saw 2 students in handcuffs. One student threw a water bottle at a protester after he called him a racial slur. And at 4:30, we saw the main protester walking behind Bozarth Hall in police custody as they escorted him to the parking garage. And he even yelled to us, "Remember guys, stop sinning, turn to Jesus." So sources tell us actually that the protester refers to himself as Pastor Aiden, who potentially travels to college campuses purposely to provoke students in hopes to file a lawsuit and gain money through this whole process that is ensuing. And according to sources, the IRS has filed an $800,000 lawsuit against this supposed pastor and his wife in Bucks County in 2018. So this is what we know so far.
Wow, some crazy stuff happening.
Absolutely. Certainly more to come.
Yes.
Thanks, ladies.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Alyssa.
We'll be back right after the break.
Hey, it's Ava, and this is Tess from Vivo's Do It Yourselfie, where we recreate the hottest looks from today's biggest music videos.
After cleaning out our closet, we have a lot of clothes we don't wear anymore.
Like this old t-shirt.
It's not garbage, it's actually a brand new rug.
And to make it, all you need to do is cut, tie, and glue.
Cut the t-shirt into strips.
Tie the strips into knots.
And glue the knots to the bath mat. I love it. Give your garbage another life.
And recycle.
About 1,200 students may have been exposed to HIV, hepatitis B, and hepatitis C at 12 schools-based dental clinics in Seattle and Vashon Island in Washington. According to NeighborCare Health, what caused this was the same dental handpieces as those dental clinics weren't fully heat sterilized. Now, NeighborCare is offering free testing for all 1,200 patients that may have been affected.
President Donald Trump claims that noise from windmills causes cancer. Trump spoke at a fundraiser for Republicans in Washington when he made his claim. Senator Chuck Grassley from Iowa called Trump's claim idiotic. Scientific studies have not discovered any human risk from wind turbines. And now Alyssa Sullivan is here to give us an update on that boy that went missing years ago.
Hi. How are you?
Welcome back.
Hi. So, an identified 14-year-old teen was found yesterday, as we know, on the street of Kentucky after he claimed he escaped his captors and had been wandering for hours. And he claimed that he was Timothy Pitson. But today, the FBI has confirmed that the teen is not Timmy, and the family is absolutely floored by this information. As of now, we do not even know the identity of this teen, and the investigation is still ongoing.
Wow, so who was Timothy Pitson?
So Timothy Pitson, here's a little bit of the backstory. He was a boy who went missing in Illinois 8 years ago in 2011 after leaving his elementary school with his mother. Just 3 days later, his mother was found dead in a motel room, which appeared as a suicide, and Timothy was gone, and he's been missing ever since.
Wow. Did you ever find out what happened to his mother?
So his mother's name was Amy Fry Pitson, and authorities found her in the motel room. They also discovered cryptic notes about where her son went, and it's caused a lot of questions for the family ever since. There were 2 suicide notes left. One was mailed to different family members, and another was left in the room where she died. They included her mentioning that she gave her son away and that he would never be found. And when Timothy's father, Jim, went to pick up his son the day of the disappearance, the elementary school teachers told him that Amy, his mother, had taken Timothy out of school for a family emergency, but apparently the parents were going through a difficult time in their marriage. And Amy struggled with depression for a long time and has already survived one previous suicide attempt before the disappearance.
Crazy. So what do police know, if anything, about the teenager that was found yesterday?
So the teen was agitated when he was found. He was wearing a hooded sweatshirt, and a woman found him and called 911. She saw him while she was driving around 8 a.m., and she pulled up and found he'd been walking for hours. He was very anxious, and he kept asking, "Can you help me? I just want to go home." So, as we said, the FBI has confirmed that it's not Timmy, but the investigation is still ongoing, and we're hoping for good things for the family.
Absolutely.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Alyssa.
When we come back, an update on Brexit.
I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Members of Parliament passed Cooper's Brexit delay deal with a majority of 1. MPs have voted by a majority of 1 to force this Prime Minister to ask for an extension to the Brexit process. The bill is to be considered by the Lords later and will need approval to become law. But it is the EU which decides whether to grant an extension. Brexit Secretary Stephen Barclay told MPs he would hope the Lords would scrutinize this bill, passed in haste with its constitutional flaws.
Here we have Iridium bringing us the latest in entertainment.
Grammy winner Britney Spears is taking a small break from the spotlight. She announced this back in January after her father, Jamie Spears, was hospitalized. There are now reports that Spears is allegedly seeking treatment at a mental health facility. A source told E! News that she's balancing her own health as well as dealing with her father's condition, and yesterday, after being gone for 3 months on social media, she posted a message for her fans saying, "We all need to take time for a little me time. Couldn't agree more." And model Amber Rose is pregnant with baby number 2. Both Rose and her boyfriend Alexander Edwards announced on Instagram that they are expecting their first child together. Both posted the same picture. It was Rose smiling while getting an ultrasound. They also announced their baby's sex, and it's a boy. Congrats to them both. Now back to you at the desk.
Dr. Esther DeBlinger and Dr. Martin Finkel have co-founded and co-directed the Child Abuse Research, Education, and Services Institute, also known as the CARES Institute. This institute will be located at the Rowan University School of Osteopathic Medicine in Stratford. They began focusing on developing child-sensitive diagnostic and documentation techniques to assess the medical needs of suspected victims of child sexual abuse. Now let's go over to Tatiana Davis to give us an update in sports regarding Bryce Harper's debut in the Philadelphia Eagles.
Your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
About inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
And here we have Bobby with this week's weather forecast.
Thanks, guys. So tonight we're going to have a low of 41, partly cloudy, moving into tomorrow. It's starting to look like classic April with a lot of thunderstorms, a lot of rain, a lot of clouds. So Friday we have a high of 48 with a low of 47 with some rain. Saturday it's a high of 68, low of 48 with just clouds, and Sunday's pretty much the same with a high of 68 and a low of 51. Monday it starts with some more thunderstorms. It's a high of 73 with a low of 58. And Tuesday we've got some more rain with a high of 71 and a low of 48. So we're just looking at some cloudy weather for the next few days. The saying April showers brings May flowers is really coming true for the first week of April. But for today we've got some sun, looking nice out, and that's all we have for weather.
Thanks, Bobby. Stay tuned for some Rowan news.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late,
She doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
Be nice. She's new. Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened? Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi. You mean you were driving? Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
No, you're not.
We're continuing team coverage with an update on that protest that we told you about earlier on Rowan's campus. Next to the Student Center and Campbell Library, 4 white males were protesting the LGBTQ community, women's rights, and making racial comments toward minority groups. One of the frats on Rowan campus was protesting the protest by playing music and dancing behind the crowd and not paying to the 4 males any attention. At around 4:35 p.m., Rowan and Glassboro police were seen escorting that man who initiated the protest to their vehicles and off Rowan's campus. Now, our own DJ Mick was on the same scene of the protest and got an interview with Rowan Vice President for University Relations, Joe Cordana.
I'm DJ McClellan. I'm here with Joe Cardona. Can you tell me what's going on today?
Yeah, so we had a group of professional protesters coming to campus, and they go from campus to campus, and they spewed a lot of hate speech veiled under religion. And what they did is they set up near 322, and they just started saying stuff to students, and they know how to press all the right buttons. And of course the students reacted and started gathering, and soon enough we had about 150 students talking with them, starting yelling back and forth with them. And because they were right there near 322, we asked them, hey, let's move you to a safer place. So we moved them down on the Student Center patio. And from there, the crowd grew to easily over 500 students. And at first, there was really a lot of tension because they're yelling back and forth. But as I said, they're professionals. They know how to press all the right buttons. And so now it's about 2 hours later. There's probably still over 500 students out there, but it's a much different mood than it was 2 hours ago.
Okay, can you tell me about the arrest that's happened?
Yeah, so what happened was there was a couple students that decided to throw objects. And once you start throwing objects, you need to be arrested. You can't start, you can, and not only endangering the people that you're throwing things at, that it's intended to, but you're endangering everybody around it. Because that could really cause not only the protesters to react in a certain way, but other people to react, and now it's dangerous. So we had a couple of arrests.
Thank you for your time, Joe.
You're welcome.
Later on, Bobby will give us the latest on that gloomy weather that's on the way.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Here's Iridian with entertainment.
Earlier today, I had a chance to sit down with Billy Ray, one of the come out on Tuesday, April 16th, as the Rowan women's lacrosse team hosts the College of New Jersey on Tacos and Tanks night. Don't forget your Rowan ID because you'll receive a free taco and a limited edition tank top. The game will start at 7 p.m. and giveaways will begin at 6:30 p.m. Don't forget. And Habitat for Humanity is doing the 3rd annual volleyball tournament. It will be held at the Rec Center on Saturday, April 27th from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. The cost per team is $30 and 4 to 6 people are allowed on the team. Tickets are on sale at the Student Center info desk. Last day to purchase tickets is April 19th. All proceeds go to Gloucester County Habitat for Humanity. Now back to you at the desk.
Earlier today, I had the chance to sit down with Billy Rake, one of the executive producers for this year's RTN Telethon, to see what we have to look forward to on Wednesday. Good evening, everybody. I'm Olivia Fasano, and tonight I'm here with Billy Rake, one of the executive producers of Rowan Television Network's annual telethon. Hi, Billy. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So before we dive into this year's telethon, can you tell everybody exactly what the telethon is, so people who may not know exactly about it?
Yeah, of course. The telethon is RTN's biggest yearly event. Happens every spring semester, usually in the first half of April. And it's a 5-hour live event where we raise money for a different nonprofit every year.
Awesome. And for this year, what charity are you guys raising money for?
Yeah, this year we chose My Brother Rocks the Spectrum.
And what is that charity about?
They try and help kids who have special needs, whatever disability they may have. They open gyms, and it's a lot of play areas, but they also have classes and social skills programs that just help kids out in any way possible.
So on this year's telethon, what kind of events or things can people look forward to for this year's telethon?
Mm-hmm. We have a lot of interviews lined up this year. Actually, the CEO of My Brother Rocks the Spectrum and the project manager at corporate, they're flying out from California to be here the night of, and we're gonna interview them live, kind of pick their brain more about the organization and why they started it and such. But we also have a whole lineup of talent musical performances, which ranges from single solo singers to full-on bands to dancers, and we're just trying to have a wide range of everything, so everyone has something that they can enjoy.
Yeah. A lot of variety.
Yeah, really trying.
So as your role as the executive producer, what does that come with?
Oh, man. It'd be easier to name what it doesn't come with, because it's basically everything. Every single decision is funneled through me and my co-producer, Jody. So top to bottom, from when we started pre-production back in late October, every single minute detail has gone through us about this show.
And for people who want to watch the telethon from home, where can they watch it?
Yeah, you can watch April 10th, which is this coming Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. at rtntelethon.com.
And how can people donate to My Brother Rocks the Spectrum?
Right on the website, rtntelethon.com, there's a donate page right at the top, and there's also a second one if you scroll down. Just click that, it'll bring you to My Brother Rocks the Spectrum's donate page, and from there you can just donate however much you want.
And do you guys have a goal set for this year?
We kind of have an internal goal.
Okay.
We don't want to say it because we don't want people to feel oh, they didn't raise enough money, because really any money is a perfect amount of money.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here tonight, Billy.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Now here's Brianna sharing her opinion on the musical play Hair.
Today, I'll be diving into some entertainment that is being presented by the Rowan University Department of Theater and Dance. There will be a musical called Hair that will be held in the Tall Hill Theater from the 5th to the 13th of this month. And this play is still relevant to our time, although it takes place in the 60s, due to the fact that the characters reflect what it means to grow up as a young person in a world that is changing. Hair is about a young group of hippies that try to balance the demands of a cruel world and fight for a peaceful future as they stand against the establishment in a harsh political climate with the raging war in Vietnam. And the issues in this musical are another way of showing that young people are always fighting for a change, wanting a revolution to change the world for the better, looking for new ways to have freedom and liberation. And this is a perfect play for the young adults who feel alone as they try to figure out and deal with the struggles in our current lives. For this musical can still resonate with the younger generation in a modern day, since we as young people who are paying attention to the social and economic problems happening to us and are wanting to make a difference, and also maybe dealing with parents and authority figures who we feel are underestimating our knowledge and choices we are passionate about. And that's just my opinion. Back to you at the desk.
Coming up, Tatiana Davis gives us an update in sports.
Hey, it's Ava, and this is Tess from Vivo's Do It Yourselfie, where we recreate the hottest looks from today's biggest music videos.
After cleaning out our closet, we have a lot of clothes we don't wear anymore.
Like this old t-shirt.
It's not garbage, it's actually a brand new rug.
And to make it, all you need to do is cut, tie, and glue.
Cut the t-shirt into strips.
Tie the strips into knots.
And glue the knots to the bath mat. I love it. Give your garbage another life.
And recycle.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Here's Tatiana Davis with your Rowan Sports News.
Thank you, Jordan. Four-time Olympic athlete Joetta Clark will speak at Rowan University on Monday, April 8th. Clark had an elite 24-year career competing in the 1800 and 1500 meters. Her lecture will be about success and how to use previous moments of success to create more. Rowan University Athletics honored 266 athletes at its annual Student Athlete Day on Monday, April 1st. The ceremony was held in the Enon Ballroom in the Chamberlain Student Center. Rowan recognized the individuals for achieving a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or higher. This year, 157 students accumulated a GPA of 3.4 or higher, and 109 students had a GPA between 3.0 and 3.9. Congratulations to the Rowan University men's track and field team as they won the Danny Karan Invitational on Saturday. The two-day meet was held at Widener University.
Now we are going to Bobby for the weather.
Thanks, guys. So tonight we're going to have a low of 41, partly cloudy, moving into tomorrow. It's starting to look like classic April with a lot of thunderstorms, a lot of rain, a lot of clouds. So Friday we have a high of 48 with a low of 47 with some rain. Saturday it's a high of 68, low of 48 with just clouds, and Sunday's pretty much the same with a high of 68 and a low of 51. Monday it starts with some more thunderstorms. It's a high of 73 with a low of 58. And Tuesday we've got some more rain with a high of 71 and a low of 48. All right, so we got a little bit of clouds coming up, but today was nice, guys. How was the day? It was super nice outside today, and it's going to be super cloudy and horrible for the next week.
I know, I was really enjoying today, so I'm sad that there's some clouds and rain coming.
Yeah. I was surprised that I woke up and it was actually nice out, and then of course we get hit with the cloudy weather again.
I know, I love taking off my jacket today, wearing a t-shirt. Well, thank you, Bobby.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
That's all for the rundown. We'll tune in next week. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Olivia Fasano. Have a great night.